Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you. It is 9 minutes with me here from the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. I'll be here this Saturday. Make sure you come join me right around 4 o'clock, 4:30, until the end of the Preakness Stakes as we get set for another great day of horse racing. Make sure you get down here during the day. Every day they do a great lunch buffet. I had it last week. You're in and around Central New York, come on down. All you can eat boneless wings, all you can eat spaghetti, all you can eat steak, and then the lunch buffet. And they've got some other awesome things on the menu like burgers and salads. And of course, you can go right next door and bet on all the races. As you can see, the monitors behind me, they've got them all from Belmont Park. They're going to have them on from Saratoga. So make sure that you get here to the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. And of course, for the second Triple Crown race of the year this Saturday, from Pimlico and the Preakness Stakes. Mike and the gang here, they just do an awesome job. Great beers on tap and in the bottle and in the can. And they've got some just delicious baked goods too. The banana cream pie here is to die for. So come here to the Phoenix Sports Restaurant, a proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. I want to get into something that really bothered me last night. You know, the Yankees-Orioles game, it was pouring rain. The field, even for Yankee Stadium, a field that dries out very swiftly and very well. You know, when you compare Yankee Stadium's field to a lot of other fields, you know, they've got some of the best in terms of, you know, groundwork and not just the ground crew, but a lot of the things underneath the field and all that. It's a quick drainage system. Most fields are like that anyways now, but I know the Yankee Stadium's got a great one. And yet, you could still tell that this game was not going to be played. You could tell that they should have called it a long time ago. Well, what happens? They delay the game. They put it around to, a 7:45, 7:50 start. That's what they say. And then they end up canceling the game after people were waiting in the absolute crap weather, rain, wind, cold, and basically they let him in there and they suffered through it. Now, what was the point? Was the point to sell a couple extra concessions? Was the point to try to get somebody in to buy another Aaron Judge t-shirt? Was the idea for them to make sure that they ate dinner there so you could make an extra, I don't know, $1,000, $2,000? Was that the goal for the New York Yankees? I mean, they should be ashamed of themselves, and Major League Baseball really should be ashamed of themselves as well. I mean, the Orioles and Yankees should have been right there together, calling the game, call MLB, and that's that. You know, MLB has so much money and they have a lot of time. That's not what fans have. Fans don't have ample time. They don't have ample money to mess around with. In this particular case last night, you've got the Orioles and Yankees game should have been canceled way far in advance. The radar gave you no inkling that this game was going to be played. There was going to be no break from the weather whatsoever, and yet they still let people through the gates. And I'll tell you right now, this stuff is happening all over the place in terms of Major League Baseball. This is not the first time. It will not be the last time. But somebody's got to step in. Rob Manfred, the commissioner, where are you? I know he's busy trying to grow the game and doing some different things and working on some rules and such to make it more popular for young people. But where's the commissioner of baseball last night? Where is that phone call? Why isn't that placed immediately to the front offices and whatnot in the in New York City? Why is that not placed? Why is that call not happening? That's a quick call, and hey, it's Commissioner Manfred. You guys got to cancel this game. He's got to have more of a hands-on approach with this stuff. You can't let fans in there and, you know, suffer through the cold. They paid for a ticket. It's miserable. What's the point? Why put fans through that? Just cancel the game. Get it going, have your split doubleheader the next day or the day after that, and move on from there. I mean, that's all you do. It's just not a hard decision. And yet for Major League Baseball, and again, I know Major League Baseball gets really a bad rap in a lot of ways compared to other sports for you know, probably unfairly, you know. But the reality is they do mess a lot of shit up, and this was messed up last night. I mean, you cannot have this. You cannot have fans going into a stadium with 38, 39-degree weather, making them wait for an hour or two after the gates open. After, you know, there was no BP to go to because I'm sure that they hit in the cage inside because the weather was so bad. You know, when I'm looking at this, I am Major League Baseball should be ashamed of themselves. And look, it's ultimately the call of Major League Baseball, I guess. It's not, you know, just the Yankees and the Orioles, although I know at the minor league level, for working for a AAA team in the Syracuse Mets, I know that if both managers decide to cancel the game, or even the home skipper can decide to cancel the game. That's that. But I don't believe that's the case in Major League Baseball. I believe it has to come from the top. It has to come from the Major League Baseball offices. And it's really funny, right? Because if Aaron Boone was given his choice to play the game or not play the game last night, he would have absolutely said no freaking way, because he had Aaron Hicks coming back. They've had a million different injuries. You don't want to set him out there to play the outfield, and I think that the smarts, the intelligent part of this thing would have taken over. But Major League Baseball, I know there's a lot to fix. The speed of the game. They're trying to tinker with different ways in terms of the shift. I don't think you need to change the shift. I think you just need to adjust and hit the ball the other way, and then they'll shift back into their normal spots. There's talk about the pitch count type of a thing. There's talk of obviously the minimum batter's face. There's talk of having the shot clock for pitchers, which they use in the minor leagues, which I actually love. There's talk about a lot of stuff, but one thing that has to be fixed, is the shit show that happened last night. It cannot happen again. Rob Manfred and these guys, it will, but it shouldn't. Rob Manfred's got to take the bull by the horns and just get rid of these delayed games, postpone until 8-10, keeping people, hoping and thinking that there's a game. Here's the other thing. If you're at this Yankee game last night, all right, and you go into that ballpark, and by the time you find out that it's canceled, about 8 o'clock, you've already invested your entire night into it, right? It's not just like you showed up at 6, they cancel it at 6:30, and then you're back on the train or in your car, and you're back home by 8. Well, it's 8 o'clock. You're now at 9:30, 10 o'clock by the time you get home and get settled in. So it's total horseshit. It's terrible, terrible, terrible representation by Major League Baseball and by the commissioner. They have got to fix this situation sooner rather than later. Well, hey, thanks for watching me, Mike Lindsley, 9 Minutes here on IGTV, YouTube, and Facebook. Make sure you hit me on Twitter at Mike L Sports, and of course on Instagram, Mike L Sports 1979. And you can download and subscribe to my podcast. It's called the ML Sports Platter, all over Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, as well as Stitcher, the Podbean app, YouTube, and Tumblr. I will tell you that this morning I had a phenomenal interview with Tyler Kepner, the lead baseball writer for the New York Times. He's just written a book called K, 10 Pitches in the History of Baseball, and it's really, really cool. Cutter, slider, changeup, fastball, curveball, you name it. He writes about the major pitches in baseball history. So make sure you go pick up a copy of that, Amazon.com and major bookstores where books are sold. And, of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, and I'll quickly close with it, the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. This is the place to be, folks, every single day. You can get your buffet for $9.95. It includes a coffee or a soda. You can grab the amazing burgers, the sandwiches, and salads, you name it. And oh, by the way, they've got great beers on tap in the bottle and in the can. And don't forget to take some of those luscious homemade desserts home with you. The banana cream pie is absolutely amazing, and their cookies are delicious as well. Mike, Shelley, and the whole crew here doing just a fantastic, fantastic job here at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant, a proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. And don't forget to join me this Saturday for the Preakness Stakes. I'll be here right after I get done with the baseball game out at MBT Bank Stadium, and then we'll be here watching some terrific horse racing. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.